Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Alicia. And this is Aria. Oh my goodness, look at your face, it's pink. What did you do to your face? It's pink and sparkly.
I'm a cupcake.
You're a cupcake?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So myself and my cupcake here, we love to go to the Dollar Tree and we love to find different things to craft. And so I found dog bowls, stainless steel dog bowls. So like, how cool is this? I'm like super excited. Although this is a little bit different than the one, this has an actual coating on it. The one I worked on didn't have a coating, but I found these and I was like, this.
I put lipstick on, and then I put lip balm on, and then I rubbed it off, and then voila.
Voila, she's a beautiful cupcake. Okay, shh, stop with the tongue. I see you in my videos doing that. I see it in the end. All right, guys. So, I decided, you know, hey, stainless steel pet bowls. I have 3 dogs, 1 for each. I am going to, and I have 1 female dog. So, yeah, of course, I'm going to totally glitter and bling this thing out. So, before we get started, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. Make sure you...
Hey, I wanted to say that.
Go ahead. Step in.
Make sure you like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe, okay? And now we're going to go ahead and get started.
Oh, let's switch out. Hit the like button in 3, 2, 1.
All right, now I'm going to go ahead and get started. All right, so now that this bowl is prepped, I am going to show you how I'm going to mount this, because this is a big deal. How are we going to mount this into, you know, onto our turner? So I'm taking this hot glue and this foam turner, and I'm hot gluing it to the inside of the bowl, and that's how that is going to stay there until the end of the project. So the stick can come in and out, but the actual foam piece is which mounts on the turner and the pole. You get what I'm saying? That's what's going to stay on and get this thing so that you can put it on the turner and level your epoxy. So I'm going to apply my glitter using the epoxy method, and so I'm using about like between 5 and 10 mLs. So, you know, not much more than I would on a tumbler. It's just this bowl is, you know, wide instead of long. But I think it's really kind of the same thing. Like, I think it would hold 20 ounces or 30 ounces if I had to guess. So I'm just going to make sure I get the inside of that rim and the bottom. Make sure I've got a good, nice, even coat. And then I'm going to apply my glitter the exact same way that I would apply it onto a tumbler. I'm just gonna dump it all on, and the color I'm using is Goldilocks, and this is I think it's a 125 cut they call it, so it's like a middle of the road chunky. And I'm just gonna do a full glitter dump on this. I'm not gonna hold back. I want to try to get as good coverage as possible. And because of the cut, I wound up not getting the coverage that I wanted. And so after I applied this glitter, I was using a fast set epoxy to adhere this glitter, so in 2 hours it'd be ready for me to work on. And so what I did was I spray sealed it with Krylon's triple thick, and I did 2 coats of that, and then I went in and I covered it again. I'm trying to think which way I did it. I applied epoxy. So I'm going to show you that. So right now what I'm doing is I'm just pressing that glitter on with parchment paper. I'm pressing the glitter down, making sure there's no pokies, because you don't want, it's hard to get a good coat on anything, on a cup or any stainless steel product, if you've got a lot of glitter that's poking up. So I'm using this parchment paper to varnish this glitter down, and now this is where I'm going in with my Krylon triple thick, and I'm going to give this 2 coats of that Krylon triple thick. Now it's ready for another coat of epoxy. But in looking at this, oh, and I put a little additive in there, which you can't even see, so it was kind of a waste. Don't bother. I did put in a little bit of diamond dust. No, not diamond dust. I put in ultrafine shimmer. That's right. Into my epoxy. I mixed up 20 mLs of epoxy, and I coated the entire bowl with it. And as I was doing it, I realized I just wasn't happy with the coverage. So here I am. I'm like, all right, let me just get it on here. And the bowl, so my turner is not going. Well, my turner is going. No, it's not going. I don't have my turner on. But the bowl slides easily around the pole. So the insert is stuck to the bowl still. That's not why it's spinning. But my turner's not spinning because I know that's bad for the motor, but that's not what's spinning. So I just want you to know that what's spinning is the actual foam piece around the turner pole. And so I am just, holding the bowl, making sure I get around that rim really well, making sure I get good coverage as usual. This is the first time I'm doing a dog bowl, so it's a little awkward for me. I'm, used to 20 and 30 ounce cups and the way I apply on those. So I apologize because this is kind of like an unusual way to do it. But it worked out. I got it on there. I got it on the bottom. I got it around the rim. Now, I torched it to make sure that I got the bubbles out. And then this is when I go in with my second coat of glitter because it just wasn't happy with the coverage. So, that's why that additive was just kind of a waste, because after I put it on, I realized, you know what, I need another coat of glitter. It just wasn't covered enough. Even though this is a peekaboo and it's going to be painted, yeah, not good enough. So I went ahead and I put that on, and then I was really happy. And I just did it around the edge. I didn't do it like underneath, and I didn't even do it on the bottom side. So once that turned, it was quick set epoxy that I used again. And after 4 hours, I took it off and I trimmed up this edge, making sure that it was nice and smooth. And you can see that there's nothing on the top of the bowl. I do not want any epoxy or glitter on the inside or the top part of the bowl. And so now I'm just doing what I do with a cup. I am just sanding down any pokies, making sure it's nice and smooth. And then I'm going to start applying my peekaboos. So my dog's name is Luna, and we call her Lun-a-tic. And the vinyl that I'm using is Duct brand shelf paper from Walmart. And the reason why I'm using this is because it removes really, really easy. So if you use a 651, if you use Oracal 651, you may have some issues with the pull-up. And so that's why I use this, because it comes off really, really easy. And so you want to use, preferably you should be using a removable vinyl so that the ease of it comes off. So because of the way the bowl wraps around, I cut it and I applied it a little bit at a time to make sure that it properly wrapped around the bowl, so that it wasn't like uneven, or it wasn't too high on one side and too low on the other side. So I applied her name, Luna, and like I said, we call her Lun-a-tic because she is a husky, or she's a husky mix. And she's pretty true to her breed for her temperament. She has a lot of energy. She has an insatiable appetite. She likes to hunt bugs, play, and she just chew on things. But she is a puppy, so you know she's going to grow out of some of that, the chewing things. So unfortunately, we do have her crate chained, and we have to crate her up at night and stuff. But hopefully that will end soon. So now that I'm done with these decals, what I'm going to do is see these glue dots. I love these glue dots, and I use them for a lot of things. I'm going to take these glue dots and I'm going to apply them around the vinyl, and I'm going to do them on the corner of the paws and the corners of her name, because once you spray paint this and glitter it, you're not going to see those letters anymore. So how else, so this I see a lot of people using hot glue guns. I didn't like the hot glue gun because of the strings, so I decided to use the glue dots instead, and it worked out really well. So after I spray painted this, the color, the color that I wanted is close to the pink that I'm using, which is Cheshire Cat. This is a really gorgeous, gorgeous pink. And I'm going around over the wet paint. So I'm using the paint as the adhesive for this. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to coat the entire bowl with it. Then I'm going to go out and I am going to use a spray sealer, Krylon triple thick, and then I'm going to come in and I'm going to give it a second coat. So this is going to get 2 coats. You can apply your second coat any way you want. You can even apply your first coat any way you want. Like you could spray paint it, let it dry, and then use Mod Podge or tack it. Whatever works for you. I chose to use the spray paint, and then I chose to seal it with the Krylon triple thick, but when it was wet, I went in with a second coat, and so that I got nice good full coverage. So now that this is dry, which it took I guess a couple of hours, I don't know. Again, dry times, I always say this, vary depending on your temperature. It is cold outside, it's chilly in my house, so it takes a little bit longer than normal. But once it's dry, it's not but dry to the touch, but not like completely dry. Like I don't want to let this sit overnight, because I find that there's kind of this sweet spot for peeling off your decals. So if it's dry to the touch but still kind of damp on the layers underneath, that's like the best time to get your decals off. And so without pulling any of your glitter or your paint or anything else off, because sometimes the decal can get really stuck onto the paint and it'll ruin what you're doing. You don't have to try to play touch up. So I'm speeding this up because, it took a little while with all these little dog paws, the little prints, so there was like the paw, the pad paw, or the pad part, and then the 4 little pads up top. So I sped that up for you. So now that I am done pulling all of these decals off, I went ahead and put another coat of epoxy on this, but I didn't show you that because how many times do you need to watch me epoxy a bowl? So now I am doing the outline, and so I outlined her name, Lun-a-tic, and I'm just weeding it and weeding some of the paws. I do mess up on the one and have to reprint another outline, but just as you can see, it's kind of tedious, and I actually found that it went faster when I used my craft knife to pull it up. So I am just going to use my transfer tape to transfer those lines. I don't have any tricks. I just eyeball it to line it up. But I did find that cutting it down into several pieces worked out better than trying to apply like one big decal at once, because that's the way I did it when I applied it. So it's not going to line up evenly anyway. So I go ahead and I'm going to first apply the Lun-a-tic on there. But after trying to fumble with it, I realized that, let me just put it on my turner. That's going to be the easiest way to film how I do this. So this is where I just eyeball it to line it up. I know there are some people who use like a parchment paper method to line it up, and they use the hinge method and all this. I just go ahead and eyeball it and slap it on there and get it as close to perfect as I can. It's a dog bowl. It's, I'm not going to sell this for like $1 million. So I just, this what I found was the easiest and quickest way. So here I am putting the paws on. And again, I am just lining it up and just pressing them down. And I do this all the way around, and get them all on. Now I'm ready to put a coat of epoxy. Actually, did it take 2 coats? No, I actually put a pretty thick coat of epoxy on this, and this was the final coat. So after this turns, and I used my quick coat on this to finish it up. I didn't this is actually going to be like a test with this quick coat that I'm using, which is, I don't normally, talk about the epoxy that I use because I'm not affiliated with anybody, and I don't want to be promoting one brand or another, but the quick set that I'm using is by the CC DIY, and I absolutely love it. But I don't know if you can use it as a final coat on tumblers, to be honest with you. It's probably something I should ask. If somebody knows, comment below and let me know if you can use it as a final. I don't, but I am on this bowl because it's my dog bowl, and this will be kind of a test to see how it holds up for yellowing and things like that, and durability. So I epoxied it, put a nice thick coat on. I popped the bubbles, and after this is done turning, I'm ready to pull the center out. All right, so I am done turning this bowl. So the center, it just pulled right out, and the glue stuck to the foam, which was awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and use this B7000, and I really like this because it's got that really super fine tip, so you can really do some intricate work with it and not over glob whatever project you're working on. And I'm applying it to that rubber ring because I am going to reapply that rubber ring to the bottom of the bowl. I'm going to let it dry for a few hours, and then I'll be back with my final remarks. All right, guys, I'm back with the finished bowl. Hey, Ari, what do you think? Look.
Ooh.
She hasn't seen it yet.
Who hasn't?
You haven't.
Ooh.
See, isn't that cute?
Yeah.
So check it out. So our female husky is Luna, but we call her Lun-a-tic because she's a husky, and if you know anything about huskies, you know they're a little bit nutty. So
and she goes like this.
She makes all kinds of strange noises. Yeah, she does. So, and on the bottom here, I put, this is the date that we adopted her. So
oh, she goes like this.
She is a rescue, and this is her adoption date. And so that's it for this tutorial, guys. Look.
Look, I have a really long nail.
Okay. So it goes to show you can glitter just about anything if you can figure out how to mount it onto your turner and get that epoxy on there. You don't have to epoxy these. You can polyacrylic it, and that will seal the glitter in, but you're not going to get that nice smooth finish. Or you could use that Crystalac also if you don't want to use epoxy. So that's another thing you can do. So I am going to work on my male dog's bowls, but I'm not going to glitter them, but I am going to do probably a peekaboo on them. So that is it for this tutorial, guys. Thank you all for watching as usual.
Bye. Make sure to like and subscribe.
We're going to subscribe in 3,
2, 1.
Boom. All right. Make sure you check out my Facebook page. It's a crafts thing, and my glitter company, it's not my glitter company. It's a glitter company I'm affiliated with. Glitter Makes It, because this is gorgeous glitter. Check it out. Buy yourself some. All right. That's it for this week's tutorial. I will see you all next time.
I have a really long nail.
Bye.
Bye.